Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio. Your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Hello and welcome to the Persistence Payoff Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Schafer. What if there was a word to describe that feeling that we all get when we're working on something and we're just about ready to give up on it, but there's something deep inside of us that says, no, I'm going to keep going. There is a word for that. It's a Finnish word called Sisu. And it's something that I think that we've all run across. And it represents the strength that all of us have inside. My guest today has incorporated the concept of Sisu into her personal life as well as her work life. Liisa Kovala is a Finnish-Canadian award-winning author and book coach. She's written historical fiction and nonfiction books, and now she's just launched a mystery series called the Hygge House Cozy Mysteries, and she's done that under her pen name, A.L. Jensen. She works with women to help them find their own Sisu in their lives and as well as in their work as authors. I'm really excited to talk with her today, and welcome back to the show, Liisa Kovala.
Hi, how are you, Kimberly?
I'm doing great. It's so good to see you. Thank you.
Thanks for having me back. It's great.
Yeah. Oh, I'm thrilled to have you. And you know, I felt like at the end of our show before, there was so much more I wanted to talk about. So I'm just happy that we have this opportunity. So,
absolutely, for sure. It was a great episode.
Yeah. Yes. And, you know, I love the idea of expanding how we think about ourselves and our world through language. And I think two of these words that I've already mentioned, hygge and sisu, represent that. And so before we dive into them, I'm wondering if you can just give us some background. As a Finnish-Canadian, how did your family come to Canada from Finland?
Yeah, so my mother was actually born here in Ontario. She had Finnish parents. They actually met here in Sudbury and got married, and all the children were born here. But my dad was from Oulu, Finland, and he came to Canada after the war in 1951. So my parents met at a dance hall, as you do, they were part of a sort of a big Finnish community here in Sudbury, Ontario. So, you know, I grew up around lots of Finnish people. There was a lot of community activities and community groups, and I just thought that's how it was until I was in school age. And then I realized, oh, there's so many other cultural groups in Sudbury, and I got to learn about all those groups as well. But I was really involved in the Finnish community from a very young age. And now it still exists, but it's kind of as a lot of community groups are starting to, you know, the language is fading and some of the groups have, you know, not continued. So things have changed, and I really wanted to lean in and learn more about my own heritage, and I did that through writing.
Yes. Oh, I think it's fantastic, and I really applaud you for keeping that heritage alive. It's so important to do that, and I think these concepts are really important ones. And
yeah,
well, let's start with your new mystery series, the Hygge House Cozy Mysteries. And first of all, can you tell us what that word means? And am I saying it right?
Yeah, well, so any Danish or Norwegian folks are going to correct us anyway. But hygge essentially is getting close, I hope. Or Norwegian or Danish people can come and let me know if I can fix that pronunciation a bit better. But it basically is creating an environment of coziness, of comfort, of relaxation. You know, imagine a fireplace and a cozy blanket and a cup of tea and a great book and maybe some lovely friends nearby and some soft music, like that kind of atmosphere where we can just settle in and feel comforted. So that's the idea of hygge. And I really love it because I think we all need it at some point in our lives. Things can be a lot, and to create that atmosphere for ourselves, whether that's in our own home or in a space where we bring in people we love and just, embrace that ideal. So I love the idea of hygge.
Yeah, it just from your description, it gives me a cozy feel. I feel like I should have a blanket around me and a cup of hot chocolate.
Candlelight going and soft lighting. I mean, it's kind of the ideal, right? Which we can create even in small moments. I think we can try to create that throughout the day. Moments where we can just be like, okay, it's fine. We're okay. Bring the nervous system down.
I think that's such an important point because we can become overwhelmed, or at least I know I can. You imagine like, oh, I've got to redo my whole house and make it a big thing. But you're right. It could just be that moment of let me be cozy right now.
Yeah, I think it can be a moment. It can be just a little space, maybe a chair, a favorite chair. It could be a favorite blanket, somewhere where you can just relax and sort of set yourself away from the stresses of everyday life. And sometimes we can't like create redesign a whole house or an apartment, but we can create a little space for ourselves where this is a moment in time and a place in time where I can just reflect and be still. And we don't always do that in our day, right? We just keep going to the next thing, the checklist and all the to-dos. But we really do need to find moments of peace and quiet.
Yes, I think you're so right. I totally agree with you on that. And so I'm curious to know how that concept got, how that became the title of your mystery series, and how does that weave into the books?
Yeah, so I loved the idea. So I decided I wanted to write a cozy mystery series, and I wanted to lean into the things I love. So my Finnish culture, Nordic culture, Scandinavian culture. I just love all of those things. I love design. I love languages. I love the environment and nature and all of the things. So I thought, okay, I'm going to just go with the things I love. So my main character is her mother is Finnish and her father was Norwegian. So she has that heritage, but she lives like I do in Northern Ontario in a fictional town called Lakewood. But she's an interior designer, and she is focused on Scandinavian and Nordic design. So anyone who's interested in Scandinavian design, you know what that means, right? Like clean lines, lots of natural fabrics and wood and all of those things. So I was able to kind of bring in design elements to what she was creating with her business partner. They created a place called Hygge House where they could invite guests and have small events and create that atmosphere for their guests. And I love the idea that hygge and homicide just have that, like immediately they're just and the antithesis of each other. So, I mean, it made me laugh. So I thought, okay, that's the title.
Yes, I love that. Yes, you're right. There is what's the word? Alliteration.
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Well, when you're writing a series like this, were you first focused on the first book, and were you imagining that would be the full book and then it grew into a series, or did you start out with it, conceiving it as a series?
Yeah, actually, that's a great question because I work with a lot of authors, and that the first book is often the one they're focused on, and they're thinking about, should I continue it? Like later down the road, I might have another book in me. But I visualize this as a series right from the beginning. I knew I wanted to write 6 books. I knew that, kind of how it would play out. And as I was planning book 1, I was kind of outlining the other books. So I have book 3 is coming out in August, but I have 3 more books coming out hopefully as we move into the new year that I have to still flesh out and work through, but I know where they're headed. I know what's going on with the character. So there's kind of a bigger character arc for the protagonist as well, Minna, but individually you could read them in any order, and you can read them as a standalone too. So they're encapsulated like the whole story. But then you kind of see that character arc for different characters throughout the series. So I knew I wanted to write a series right from the beginning. And it's not always the case. But this time, like, it just came to me, like, it was really strong. This is what I need to do. So listen to whoever sends these messages to us. I think I better listen.
I think that's such a great point. We've got to listen to our intuition. You're right.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, I think that's something that writers will talk themselves out of things. Like, they have an idea and they have they're excited about the thing. And then when they start working on it, it gets a little bit worrisome, and can they do it? And, they sort of talk themselves out of it and don't follow the instinct. And I think that's probably unwise, because you got that inspiration for a reason. And sometimes it's not immediately clear how to deal with it, but you can definitely figure that out along the way. So yeah, I think, I could have said, well, who's going to read books about Scandinavian and Nordic characters in Northern Ontario? But apparently people are loving it. So that's great.
Well, yes, and I think that people love learning about other cultures. What is the mystery series that's set in South Africa, the Ladies Detective Agency?
Yes, I love that series. I forgot the McCallum. I feel like there's like Callum or something in there. That's a great series, right?
Yes. And it's similar, where it's describing a culture that's its own culture, but people really, I hear so many great things about that series.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. And I love reading cozies from different places too. Like, one series I'm reading is out of Scotland. So I don't know that much about Scotland. So that's been really fun and quirky characters. And then another author is writing out of Australia. And so my husband's family is Australian. So I love reading those references to places I've been. And, so there's different reasons why these different cozies that are set in different locations can make us want to dive into them, whether we don't know anything about that culture at all, or we know something and it's going to surprise us, or maybe because we have our own links to those places in some way, whether it's a family member or our heritage or whatever it is. And I think you can always learn something new and fun and, see it in a different light.
Yes. So with the mysteries, is it a murder mystery, or what genre of mysteries?
Yeah, so it's definitely a cozy mystery. There is, so the premise is this, and I'm not giving anything away. The Minna and her business partner Christy have decided to open Hygge House event center, and it's opening day, and they're all getting ready. All their family and friends are there to help them. And Minna finds a dead body on the doorstep. So now she has to deal with it. So she is a amateur sleuth. She's somebody who had no intention of solving murders, but yet she has this inclination to do that. She's a person who really pays attention to details, and as an interior designer can use those skills to solve this mystery. So it was really fun. But cozy mysteries don't... there's kind of some rules around it, right? There's no bad language. There's no really graphic details for the murder, right? It's everything's quite considering it's a murder, it's quite nice to read, and you don't feel like it's graphic. So, those are the kinds of things I like, because you're getting a cozy mystery because you want a bit of escape. That it's going to end well. That the crime is going to be solved. And along the way, there's, great characters, quirky townspeople. You have great little businesses and coffee shops and all of the things. So you can really immerse yourself into that world for a little while and just let everything else pass away.
Yes. Well, and it's interesting that you're writing this series under your pen name. I think it's A.L. Jensen. What makes you determine with a book whether you publish it under your own name or your pen name?
Yeah, it was kind of a decision I made really early on because I've been writing nonfiction and historical fiction for quite a few years. And so anyone who was going to pick up Hygge and Homicide thinking they were going to get a historical novel set, I don't know, in the 1930s would be really disappointed that that wasn't the story they were getting, right? So I was conscious of the readers I already had, like lots of them have come with me and have been reading the cozies, but some of them, this is not their genre. And that is perfectly, great. You need to know what kind of books you love to read. So I thought, well, I'm just going to signal to readers, and I'm very open about it, but I want to signal to readers that if you read A.L. Jensen, that is going to be cozy. It's going to be a completely different genre than if you're reading Liisa Kovala's books. And they're both me. I used A.L. My real first name is Annalisa. So I go by Lisa in my everyday life, but my, driver's license and everything else is Annalisa. So A.L. made sense. And my husband's last name and my kid's last name is Jensen. So I thought, well, why not you just lean into the name that when I got married, I decided to keep my maiden name, but I thought, well, here's an opportunity. I can use their name here. And it feels like my name, even though it's slightly different from the day-to-day name I use. So that's what I decided to do. And I think it's been working.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I love that. And I can see there's the personal connection with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And even like when I think of my name, Annalisa, very few people call me that. Some cousins do. My mom might do that once in a while. But my grandmother's name in Finland, I was named after her, and she was Annalisa. So it's really nice to kind of use her name too. I mean, because it's mine, but hers, like if there's a connection there. So it's nice to have a pen name that feels authentically your own. But also lets people know, okay, this is the cozy and this is the other kind of writing. And then folks can decide if they want to go to one or the other, or hopefully both.
Or both. Yes, I agree. No, I want to dive a little bit into questions of persistence. And I feel like this is where Sisu may come in a little bit. And can you talk with us about what is Sisu and what does that mean? What does that represent?
Yeah, for me, Sisu, it has been like a mainstay idea since I was a child. I mean, I don't even remember when I learned what Sisu was because it was something I just kind of knew. It was part of our culture. And it really, there's no English translation, but you get close when you talk about courage, determination, strength, grit even. But it goes beyond those ideas to, if you can imagine a time in your life when things are so difficult, or where it doesn't look like you can meet the, get to the finish line, but you persist anyway, despite what the end result could be, you keep going. And I think that's really important because, it's easy for us to say, well, it's not going to work out anyway, so I'm just going to give up, right? Like we're often quick to judge how it's going to play out, so then we give up. And I think that's just wrong. I think if we can persist through something that we think is meaningful, look, I'm not just saying anything, like it should be important to you. And if you want something and you just keep persisting, I think we surprise ourselves at how the outcome can change. And sometimes it can't, but at least we gave it our all and there are no regrets. So I love the idea of Sisu. I think we all have it. I think it's within us. And I think we can pull it forward when we need it, especially when in those really kind of dark and difficult times.
Yes. And from listening to your description, that's a beautiful description. Would you also say there's an element of just faith, whatever that means to the person? Like you're saying, don't try to predict the outcome. You just have faith in whatever.
I think so. Whatever that means to the individual, whether that's a faith in a higher being, whether that's religious faith, whether that's just faith in your own ability to do something, to persevere. I think it's within us. But I do think we have been kind of sort of trained to think that we need to be successful, and success is the outcome. And I don't think it is. I think it's the journey. I think it's the doing the thing. Like I often talk to writers about like when you publish your book and you hold it in your hands for the first time, it's lovely. Like it's a great feeling. Or when you have a book launch and people come to the book launch and buy your book and it's like this really nice moment and you should embrace it and celebrate it. But really the most important part of writing a book is writing the book. It's the journey of writing. It's the doing the work. That is the most fulfilling thing. The end product, it's like a representation of that, but it's really the work itself. So if we can embrace and love the work, then it makes the whole journey really sweet. If it's just the outcome that you want, the book at the end, well, I don't know. I mean, you'll have, an hour of like, that was great. And then back to work.
Yes. A long journey to get there. So yes.
Exactly.
Yes. So for you, so if I understand correctly, there's potentially 6 books in this series.
Yes.
They're coming out in 3 more. Do you draw on your own Sisu to like, are there moments when you feel like, oh my gosh, I've got 3 more books to go. How am I going to do it? And do you use
100%? Yeah, 100%. I think we all go through those moments where, you're excited about the thing and you're like, it's the shiny new object and you're ready to go. And then there's the work that is slow and challenging and frustrating, and you have those dips, and then you start to see the light again and you think, okay, we're getting near the end, and you start to feel excited. So I think that's a natural process whenever you're creating anything, whenever you're doing a project, whether it's a novel or something else. We have those moments where we just, I know I do. I just think, oh my goodness. And I often have several projects on the go. And so that can also be daunting too, just the overwhelm of knowing I have all these things to work on and being able to say, okay, no, it's okay. I need to focus on this right now. That can be left for now. I'll come back to it, and just like trying to parse it out so that I don't feel like it's too much. And again, the idea of persistence, like it's just keep coming back to it. Sometimes writers or people who don't write, they're waiting for inspiration. They're waiting for that moment of, I can't write today because I'm not feeling it. But you need, to just keep coming back. Like you just need to keep sitting down. And even on the days where I think, oh, this is not going to be the greatest writing day, I'm not feeling good, I'm feeling like tired or slow or whatever it is. Some of those are the best writing days. You just don't know what the day is going to hold for you. So persistence is so important. Just keep showing up to the work.
Yes. Yeah. I so agree. And it's like, it comes back to that idea of us not writing the outcome. If we think, oh my gosh, I don't feel great today, this isn't going to go well. Like you said, sometimes those are the best days. Like we do not know what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's so it's such a fascinating thing that you can talk yourself out of it and then nothing happens. But if you do the work, even if it's for 10 minutes, sometimes that 10 minutes becomes an hour or 2 hours, because you're like, just getting yourself to the place of the work is the hardest part often. A yoga teacher, maybe people know, but her name's Adrienne, Yoga with Adrienne. She always says like the hardest part is getting to the mat. Right? Like that's the hardest part. The yoga practice is the yoga practice, but it's sitting, like getting your mat out and rolling it out and getting on the floor and starting the practice. And I think she's absolutely right. And I think that's true for writers and lots of creatives. Just start.
Yes. So because you are a book coach, and I think you run workshops and classes, and do you see light bulbs go off with people when you talk about Sisu and when you give them that concept? Can you see them absorb it?
Yeah, I think I do see people absorb it over time. I don't think it's easy to absorb immediately. Like I can talk about it and you can say, oh yeah, that resonates with me. But the reality is you have to put it into practice. Like we can talk about like, let's go for a jog, but I haven't jogged in a long time. So I'm not sure that I could jog very far, but I could maybe jog a few steps, right? And then tomorrow I could jog a little bit farther. And so it's that idea of, again, just showing up and doing it and finding it in yourself. Like it's not something you can just go, oh, wow, I have this and let's do it. I think you have to just give yourself lots of grace and many opportunities to try again and to fail and to try again, and know that those, like, I don't even like the word failure, because I don't think it's not failing. It's just, you might feel like it's not what you expected or wanted, but it's part of the journey. And looking back, you can see how all of it has help, you come a long way, even if in the moment it didn't feel like it was going well. So.
Yes, I think that's true. And I would love to know about your process, like as you're working on these books, because you also work on historical nonfiction and other historical fiction. Do you work on multiple books at the same time, or when you're working on a series, are you just focused on the series?
No, I am a little bit, I don't really recommend this, but if you have a brain like mine, then it might work for you. I usually have a book that I'm planning. So right now I'm planning a book 4 in the Cozy Mystery series, which I'm hoping to have out either at the end of the year or early next year. I'm working on editing a book that it's a historical novel that I wrote many years ago and is now ready to put out in the world. So I'm hoping that will come out by the end of the year. But I've had that in my back pocket for years. And I'm also researching a nonfiction book that will go to the editor next April. So I have all these little fires going, and I like it because I can spend some time on one project and then move over to the other project. I'm at a whole other stage. It's a whole other process. And then I can move to something else. And for me, I'm not waiting for inspiration. I'm just working on the things. But sometimes, some days, I'm like, well, I just want to work on this today. So I don't need inspiration. I just need to focus. So I go to that thing, and then maybe the next day I focus on something else. And everything's moving forward at its own pace. And sometimes deadlines are there and you need to like focus on the deadline, and other things need to step back for a bit. And that is fine. Like I have this kind of ability to float between projects, and I can let something sit for a while and be okay with that. Some people might need the focus of the one project from beginning to end. Perfectly great. Like whatever works for you. For me, I like a lot of balls in the air. It's keeps me bright and active and going.
Yes, I can understand that. I'm kind of the same way, where it's almost like a mental refresher, to think about something else, and then you can come back a little refreshed to whatever the other thing is that you're working on, or other things. So
100%.
yes.
Yeah. There's brain science tells us that that our brain will work on a problem or something, we've been thinking about while we're doing other things. So I love that idea that I could have, sort of a concern about a novel or a concern about a scene or something that's going on, and I can go work on something else. My brain will still be working with that problem. And when I come back to it, now it's fresh. If I had spent that same amount of time trying to solve the issue, trying to figure out all in that moment, I probably wouldn't be using my time very effectively. So I think we can use brain science to help us through some of these moments too.
Yes, I completely agree with you. I think you're quite right. And I would love to know, how do you keep track of the different projects? Do you put Post-its up on the wall? Are you a notebook note taker, or how do you keep track of it all?
All the things. I feel like I've had to try everything. What is working for me right now is I have a bullet journal, and I keep track of what has to happen on any given day, and then a list of things that I'd like to have happen. And then on the other side, I write down what I've actually done. So I can keep track of, like, I know we had, today we were meeting at a certain time. So that is definitely on there. But then there might be something else I want to accomplish that, if it doesn't happen today, it's not a big deal, but like it's a little bit of a checklist of things that I'd like to have happen. But then when you write down what you've been doing during the day, and you look back, you can go, those days when you felt like, oh, I didn't get much done. And you look at the list, yeah, I totally did. It might not have been exactly what I had planned that day, but it was actually successful. So I find keeping track of everything in one place is really great. And I also have, like, I'm a bit old school. I also have a file folder for every project with, important bits in there. And if I have any dates coming up, I put a sticky note on the folder with the date to remind myself, okay, this is coming, and this has got to take priority soon. So there's just little tricks, and I write everything down because, I am now in my mid-50s. The brain fog is real. So I do need to keep track of everything.
I'm there with you. I can attest to that as well. So
right. It's got to get on the paper or it doesn't happen.
Yes. And how far in advance do you plan things? So you have this series, this mystery series, the cozy series, and you're anticipating it'll be 6 books. And so one question is, could it be more than 6 books? And then the second part of that question is, do you foresee another mystery series?
Oh, yeah. Great questions. So 6 is the goal. And I have the thought that if I have more ideas and I have story ideas for them and people want to continue reading the series, then yes, I'd probably continue writing them. But for the moment, I'm just, focused on the 6. And then, I have in the back of my mind that I really do love writing series. I think it's really fun to, dig into a place and a time and characters. So I have a couple of ideas floating around. Not fermented enough to really talk about yet, but I do think that there are some more series in my future. But for now, I think I do need to, I have 2 historical novels I need to get out into the world. And I have 3 nonfiction books that are slated for the next 3-4 years. And then this cozy mystery series. So I have so many things on my plate that I'm trying not to overwhelm myself with those shiny new ideas, because I would just, if I had a really great idea, I'd want to just do it. Like, I'm that kind of personality. So I'm trying not to think too hard about it, because otherwise I might be like, oh, I got to do that. And my list is already, long enough for now.
Yes, you've got enough. I imagine that you are so inspirational to your students and the people that you coach, because you're walking the walk. You're not just in theory, here's how you can do it, but you are doing it. And they may choose to do it differently than you.
Yes.
But you can show it can be done, and I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So
I think that's, I can't speak to the inspirational part, but I think what they see is the various options you have as a published author. So I'm both traditionally published and self-published, and I actually I just signed a contract for 3 books last week with a traditional publisher. So you can you can make those choices depending on the book, depending on what you want from that book. And I think that's nice for my clients to be able to say, okay, well, let's talk about this option as a self-publisher, this option as traditionally published. What does querying look like? What does it look like to work with a small publisher versus a bigger publisher? So, having that experience is really useful as a book coach. And personally, I think it's the way to go for authors. You can decide where that book goes and what you want it to look like. And if you want to query and you want to try to get an agent, and you want to try to get a book publisher, absolutely go do it. Try that. And if it doesn't work out, because it's really hard to get those deals, you have other options too. And there's no hierarchy here, right? Like, it's just different publishing paths. And of course, if you do need to get the professionals to help you with cover design and, all the things to make like the editing and developmental editing and all those things to make sure your book is professional if you decide to self-publish. But absolutely can do a great job if you want to go that route. So I like that I have a little bit of experience to be able to share with them, for sure.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm curious to know if social media has become more a part of it. Like, do you do little videos of behind the scenes? Here I am at my desk writing and showing little snippets of that.
I think social media is really good for making connections with people. And I absolutely do post about my dog and sitting out on my deck and writing. And I absolutely do those things. But I'm not convinced social media is at all useful for selling books, for getting readers. It's great for making connections with people. And I think that's what it should be. It's social. There are other platforms that are more important, maybe for authors who are trying to sell books. But I think the number one thing folks need is a newsletter, and they need to connect with their audience and let them know what's going on and have, this event or that book is coming out, let them know. And plus all the, fun things about what's going on in their life, or a little insights into their writing career, or their whatever's happening with them. So depending on how comfortable they are sharing about their own life. So social media is, I think, important for authors, but I think we have to focus on it being the social part. Make connections with people, talk to people, find other authors, find other, like readers might find you and want to engage with you. Great. Do that. It's lovely. But maybe don't go there thinking you're going to sell books. I'm not sure that that's really happening. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and I love that idea too of putting the social back in social media, that it's not just all about sales. And
yeah, exactly.
Well, and speaking about connections, before we let you go, can you please let us know how people can connect with you? What's the best way for them to reach out to you directly, or how can they find your books?
Yeah. So for the probably the easiest way is to go to lisabookcoach.com. And lisabookcoach.com, you'll see my book coaching stuff. You'll see the historical novels and the cozy mysteries, and all the social media links are there if you want to find me on Instagram or Facebook. And I'm also on Substack, and my podcast is Women Writing. So that's sort of a house for all the things. I originally thought I should have more than one website, and I thought, well, but why? This is who I am and what I do. So everything is under one container, and then they can go ahead and find me in all the other places.
All right. And I have to say, it's a beautiful website. It's just,
thank you.
It gives me the concept of hygge, that it's just a cozy, warm, lovely website. So.
Oh, that's lovely to hear. Thanks so much.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for being here. And I hope you come back. I look forward to hearing about how the series goes, and to talk more about Sisu and hygge. So I really appreciate your being here.
Thank you so much. It's always a delight to chat with you and your readers. I hope they enjoyed it too.
All right.
Readers, listeners.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I hope to see you soon.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye. Yeah. So that was so great and so inspirational. I love those concepts. If you would like to connect with me, I am the inventor of the ring thing, which is a waterproof patented ring holder that I invented. I'm on my own journey with persistence and Sisu. You can reach me through my website, which is ringthing.com. That has all the information about how to reach out to me and my social media. My email is kimberly@ringthing.com, or also info@ringthing.com. And you can find me on Instagram at @ring_thing_. And I would appreciate any thoughts that you have about this episode or any of our episodes, suggestions for guests, or anything that you would like to share. I'm very open to that. We're here every other Tuesday live at noon Pacific time. And you can see us anytime at USA Global TV and Radio on YouTube. I'd like to thank our producer, Roland Friedel, and our founder and president, Dr. Jacqueline Kervig. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.
Every great story begins with a vision. At USA Global TV and Radio, for years, we've been providing world-class education, entertainment, inspiration, imagination, connections, and hope. Most people don't stay to watch the outro or the credits, but it's the people behind every success, behind every breakthrough, and behind every unforgettable story who matter. The TV show hosts, our guests, our sponsors, our publicists, our production team, our distribution team, our search engine optimization team, and so many more. You're the ones who make the difference. Every great story belongs to the people who bring it to life. Our future looks bright at USA Global TV and Radio, and that's because of you, our loyal fan base all around the world in more than 60 countries. Together, we're making a difference because you matter. USA Global TV and Radio, live streaming to over 60 countries. Voiceover, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Video production and direction, Paul Garcia. Subscribe to...
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA Global TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.